But I'm already, we 16 minutes into this, and I've just been talking and talking. So, which, in my defense, that is the whole point of having a stream, right? But still, I'm just talking about random shit, making random points. Let's jump into the actual list, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. All right. So, the first book that I'm popping up on my list, this isn't, we're kind of working in backward order. This would be number 8 out of 8 books. Okay, not number 1. The eighth book for my self-help book list would be The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Everybody has heard of this book. If you look at the ratings here on Amazon, 152,000 ratings on this book. This book is very, very popular, man. This book was released. This is a paperback that was released in 2026. I don't know when it was published, but I know that I read this book and I want to say 2016, and it had already been out for a while, and it had been blowing up all over social media. It was a huge bestseller. People loved this book, man. I don't know when he released it. I want to say maybe 2012 or 13, somewhere in that area. And it got very, very popular. So everyone's heard of this book. It's been over 10 years, I'm pretty sure, that this book has been around. And it was a very popular self-help book. Really nailed the kind of the self-help market at that time, right? So in any case, yes, this is my number 8 pick. I got some information to go into it for you. There's where you can find it on Amazon. And as always, I'll have the link to every web page that I go over on stream will be in the description of the video. So if any one of these books really tickle your fancy and you think, fuck, I got to have that, there'll be an Amazon link to the book in the description, as will be all the YouTube videos and everything else I cover, right? So that's the book. Here's a little write-up from Mark Manson's website on the subtle art of not giving a fuck to kind of give you a general idea of what kind of stuff he's going to. We'll read through the intro, and then I'll read each one of these little subtleties of his. We're not going to read this entire article because it's a long fucking article, right? So I'm not going to dive too deep into it. Just give you the little subtleties, is what he calls them, in the intro. So you can kind of get a gist for Mark Manson himself, how he writes, and what kind of stuff he writes about. And then I got a quick little YouTube video. Here's the man himself that we can go ahead and watch. So again, you kind of get an idea of Mark Manson, the author, and what kind of content he's going to have in this book. So, in my life, I have given a fuck about many people and many things. I have also not given a fuck about many people and many things. And those fucks I have not given have made all the difference. People often say the key to confidence and success in life is to simply not give a fuck. Indeed, we often refer to the strongest, most admirable people we know in terms of their lack of fucks given. Like, oh, look at Susie working weekends again. She doesn't give a fuck. Or, did you hear that Tom called the company president an asshole and still got a raise anyway? Holy shit, that dude does not give a fuck. Or, Jason got up and ended his date with Cindy after 20 minutes. He said he wasn't going to listen to her bullshit anymore. Man, that guy does not give a fuck. Chances are you know somebody in your life who at one time or another did not give a fuck and went on to accomplish amazing feats. Perhaps there was a time in your life where you simply did not give a fuck and excelled to some extraordinary heights. I know for myself, quitting my day job in finance after only 6 weeks and telling my boss that I was going to start selling dating advice online ranks pretty high up there in my own don't give a fuck Hall of Fame. Same with deciding to sell most of my possessions and move to South America. Fucks given? None. Just went and did it. And here we have a nice little illustration. Everyone just wants to be liked and accepted, except for Tim. Tim doesn't give a fuck. And I like that little flip of the bird right there. This is the kind of humor you could expect from this book, right? It's a little edgy, right? It's not like super offensive or anything like that, but it's a little edgy, right? He certainly likes the word fuck, that's for certain. And yeah, you could kind of glean that from the title though, right? Now, while not giving a fuck may seem simple on the surface, it's a whole new bag of burritos under the hood. I don't even know what that sentence means, but I don't give a fuck. A bag of burritos sounds awesome, so let's just go with it. The point is, most of us struggle throughout our lives by giving too many fucks in situations where fucks do not deserve to be given. We give a fuck about the rude gas station attendant who gave us too many nickels. We give a fuck when a show we liked was canceled on TV. We give a fuck when our coworkers don't bother asking us about our awesome weekend. We give a fuck when it's raining and we're supposed to go jogging in the morning. Fucks given everywhere, strewn about like seeds in motherfucking springtime. And for what purpose? For what reason? Convenience? Easy comforts? A pat on the fucking back, maybe? This is my problem, my friend. This is the problem, my friend. Because when we give too many fucks, when we choose to give a fuck about everything, then we feel as though we are perpetually entitled to feel comfortable and happy at all times. That's when life fucks us. Indeed, the ability to reserve our fucks for only the most fuckworthy of situations would surely make life a hell of a lot easier. Failure would be less terrifying, rejection less painful, unpleasant necessities more pleasant, and the unsavory shit sandwiches a little bit more savory. I mean, if we could only give a few less fucks or a few more consciously directed fucks, then life would feel pretty fucking easy. What we don't realize is that there is a fine art of non-fuck giving. People aren't just born not giving a fuck. In fact, we're born giving way too many fucks. Ever watch a kid cry his eyes out because his hat is is the wrong shade of blue? Exactly. Fuck that kid. Developing the ability to control and manage the fucks you give is the essence of strength and integrity. We must craft and own our lack of fuckery over the course of years and decades. Like a fine wine, our fucks must age into a fine vintage, only uncorked and given on the most special fucking occasions. This may sound easy, but it's not. Most of us, most of the time, get sucked in by life's mean trivialities, steamrolled by its unimportant dramas. We live and die by the side notes and distractions and vicissitudes. Vicissitudes, that's a new one. Okay, vicissitudes that suck the fucks out of us like Sasha Grey in the middle of a gangbang. Jeez. This is no way to live, man. So stop fucking around. Get your fucks together. And here, allow me to fucking show you. And then here's a couple points from the book. Subtlety 1. Not giving a fuck does not mean being indifferent. It means being comfortable with being different. Okay, big distinction, right? You don't want to be indifferent to everything that happens in life, but you do want to be comfortable with being different than everybody else. That's a very important one. Subtlety 2. To not give a fuck about adversity, you must first give a fuck about something more important than adversity. Ooh, that's really good advice. Really good advice. It is much easier to go do the daily grind when the thing you're grinding at is enjoyable, right? Like we were just talking, I figured out when I stream about topics that I enjoy streaming about, I can stream for 3 fucking hours, and here Mark's got me with throwing all my fucks out now. I can stream for 3 hours, and my streams are much better, higher quality, right? It's much easier to deal with the bullshit of setting up streams when I'm setting up a stream I'm excited about because I'm excited to be doing it, right? So in order to not give a fuck about adversity, you need to find something you give a fuck about more than adversity. And subtlety 3, we all have a limited number of fucks to give. Pay attention to where and who you give them to. Pretty good advice. And so he goes through each one of those points. All 3 of those points are deeply explored in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But this was just a good little rundown of some of the points, some of the types of things you're going to hear in his book. That humor goes through the entire book. It doesn't cease, which makes it a pretty easy read. We'll kind of get to that in a minute. You can expect a little fly in my face. Fuck that fly. You could expect chapter titles like, So Mark, what the fuck is the point of this book anyways? Or The Misadventures of Disappointment Panda. Or, but, if I'm not going to be special or extraordinary, then what's the point? He's got all kinds of interesting advice that he gives, and very interesting in his own patented, interesting, clever, and very funny, edgy way. Little fly, get the fuck out of here, bro. I tell you. And so, yeah, you can expect that from this book. That makes this book an enjoyable read for a lot of people. And I would imagine is one of the reasons why this book got as big as it did, because it was funny, it's entertaining, and it isn't chocked full of the, I suppose, stern academic reasoning that you might get from a lot of other self-help books, or the new agey Goose Fraba type voice that you'll get from a lot of these self-help books, which I got a couple of those self-help books on my list that do have that voice in it. Mark Manson's book is distinctly different in the sense that it's filled with this kind of edgy joking around while giving you really good advice, right? So here's Mark Manson again to teach you more about this. Here's 3 hard truths that will change everything.